Hello students, we are starting here lesson number 14, that is natural resources. Natural resources, that is the compounds or substances which are present in the nature. Okay, that is these substances may be water, air, soil, food, energy, that is sunlight from the sun. These may be acts as a natural resources. They are useful for the living organisms and again for the human beings. Okay, these can be considered as a natural resources. Then some examples are given in this slide, that is sunlight and air. Then rocks and minerals, plants, water, soil and animals. These are having various uses for the living organisms and also for the human beings. Okay, then next we have to see what are the resources on the earth, as we seen in this image, that is sunlight and air and water. Okay, these are considered as a natural resources. All these examples are the natural resources. Means as we consider land, water, air, they are having the effects on the living organisms. Means water is 75% on the earth's surface. Then land is called as the outer crust of the earth. Then we have to study the biotic components in the detail to understand the role of living organisms on the earth. Okay, when we consider the different layers of the earth, okay, before we see this definition, we have to observe this diagram correctly. Okay, then when we consider the different layers of the earth, okay, they are of 4 types. First one is atmosphere, second one is biosphere, third one is lithosphere, fourth one is hydrosphere. Okay, as we consider these layers which are present on the earth, because of these living organisms are found on the earth's surface, not on other planets. We will see the details. First one is the lithosphere. Lithosphere means the land or outer crust of the earth. Then hydrosphere means water resources present on the earth. Hydro means water. Sphere means layer. Okay, here lithosphere means, litho means land or soil and layer. Okay, as in the atmosphere, multi-layered gases are present in the atmosphere, okay, which covers the earth's surface. Then biosphere consists of biotic and abiotic components which are present on the earth's surface. Okay, then we have to study again the diagram given in this. Atmosphere means the different gaseous layers which are present around the earth's surface. When the lithosphere we consider, it is the outer crust of the earth. Hydrosphere, the water resources which are present on the earth, as like ocean, rivers, lakes. Also we have to consider here the underground water resources which are present below the soil surface. Again, water is present in the form of glaciers, okay, in the polar regions. Okay, as we consider, then biosphere means biotic and abiotic components interact with each other, hence life is exist on the earth because of 3 factors. Okay, then in the next slide we will see the air. First factor we have to study, that is air, that is called as the breath of life. What is the composition of air which is present around the earth's surface? That is nitrogen is there, oxygen is there, carbon dioxide is there and water vapors are there. Okay, these are the components which are present in the mixture of gases, that is called as the air. Then even composition of these gases in the air, it is the result of the life on the earth. When we consider other planets like Venus and Mars, there is no life. Okay, why there is no life? because there is the major component of CO2 is present, high percentage of CO2 is present in that atmosphere of Venus and Mars, that is 95 to 97% of the air is present. Okay, in the next slide we have to study what is the composition of air. As I told, nitrogen 78% is there, then oxygen is 21% and other 1%, that is other gases means argon, carbon dioxide, water vapor. Okay, it is also present in the air. Then we have to study okay, then in next slide we have to see how the CO2, what are the resources of the CO2 in the atmosphere. When we consider the respiration process or the industrial smoke, here in the diagram as shown, see, this is the industrial smoke which is released outside. Then due to the respiration, decomposition, okay, then again CO2 is released in the atmosphere. These are the resources, burning of fossil fuel. Okay, in the next slide we have to see all the eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells, means all the living organisms, they shows the respiration process. Why? They get the energy through the respiration in the presence of oxygen, okay, to break down the glucose. When we consider the sources of CO2, as I told, composition of fuels and forest fire releases CO2 in the atmosphere. Okay, then we have to study how this concentration of CO2 remains constant in the atmosphere. Okay, in this concept CO2 is fixed in two ways, means atmospheric CO2 is converted into different carbon compounds as this photosynthesis process. As we consider the photosynthesis process, in this process 6 molecules of CO2 reacts with 6 molecules of H2O. During the photosynthesis process it is converted into glucose and oxygen is released. There should be presence of sunlight for the photosynthesis process. Okay, this is the one factor which is responsible for the fixation of CO2 in the atmosphere. Okay, then next we have to study the marine animals uses carbonates to make their shells. Shells means their coverings. Carbonate coverings are there which is hard in structure for protective in function. Okay, then next we have to study that is atmosphere. Atmosphere means different layers of gases which envelops the air, which envelops the earth's surface. Okay, these may be consist of different layers: troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. These are the different layers. It may not be asked for your examination, but you have to know these points. This atmosphere consists of these 5 layers. Okay, the next one is the atmosphere. When we consider the atmosphere, definition should be there, that is the layer of gases envelope surrounding the earth is called as the atmosphere, as I told you. Okay, then what is the role of the atmosphere? It is the protection in function, that is it protects from the UV rays which are radiating from the sun. Okay, then helping mode of communication. For the communication, air acts as a medium, that is atmosphere acts as a medium. Okay, then in next slide we will see, observe this diagram carefully. The radiations are shown as they are releasing from the sun and reaching up towards the earth, but this light blue colored envelope is of the atmosphere as I showing you in the diagram. Okay, this protects the earth from these radiations. Okay, this is the protection of the atmosphere as we consider. Okay, in this task we have already seen that. Students, after this you have cleared some concepts. You have to answer some questions. As first question is there, what are the two ways of the fixation of CO2? Okay, then what is define atmosphere, what is the role of the atmosphere, then write the different components of gases in the air. Okay, then you have to write the definition of environment. Okay, answers we will discuss in the next lecture. Thank you.